They must have the slowest horses ever pulling this bleeding wagon, mustn't they? She ain't going to go past here like past 2. Surely the horses will bump into her on the way down to the post.
Speaking of
Yeah, no, I'm just here to look at you. Liney, what tasty women here. Don't you ugly men. All you ugly men, get out of the way.
And a very big warm welcome to the Bar Stewards Enquiry Day 2 Ascot Review. Joining me this evening are Quentin Franks and John Lane. Good evening, chaps.
Yeah. Afternoon.
Yes. This should be a good show. I've done my bollocks. It's tremendous. People love it. I get more compliments when you say you've done your absolute brains. I'm going to accept some responsibility for my act. I was shit. So we come on to the day. Right, we'll go through the races, and I'm sure we'll come up with some funny expletives, etc. What we've noticed throughout the day with the ITV racing coverage, etc. Queen Mary Stakes is a Group 2 affair, and I fell for the Wesley Ward hype. Quentin put me in my place. He said it's Wesley Ward hype on the pre-pod show. I fell for it. Like the egg under the hat trick. I had the full yoke all over the face as dramatised. Bolted up, chaps. Thoughts on the Queen Mary?
Very impressive winner.
Yeah. I think are we looking at solid form here, Quentin? The race, like, dramatised, very impressive winner. Carl Burke, very, very bullish beforehand. Your thoughts going forward on this?
Going forward, she's the filly's 2-year-old race. I think she's going Mornay next. They muted or allow her. I've got a 1:10ish give or take on the clock at the moment. Second looks to be heading to Nunthorpe. Connections seem to be going pot hunting with that. Looks solid form. The one I'll take from the race, short to medium term, would be Carmella. She's not going to win group races, I don't think, but she looked in red. She's already looked in need for 6 furlongs, and she was the quickest home, finishing fast in 8th place. I know you would like I think it was Yarmouth on debut from a physical, and I'll stick her in the notebook, and I'm sure they can pick up maybe a Group 3 somewhere over 6.
Yeah, because I also thought your pick, Katie Content, run perfectly well. That's how strong I would see the form. I do think that's quite a strong form going forwards. Katie Content in 6th. It's a race we can, I think put a ring round in terms of solidity. Okay, we'll come to the Queen's Vase, Group 2 affair. And John, what a fucking disgrace we've got here. Queen's Vase, where's the Kilt runner?
Absolutely. I mean, he must have had 35 runners in the last 10 years. And nothing. 300 up there, parked up at Midland, doing him out. And not one of them well enough to run in this race. Unbelievable. A sad indictment of the man's skill.
It's a disgrace. I mean, like you say, the man must have God knows how many candidates for this kind of race. And if any listener can be bothered and do the stats and tell me the last time the Kilt didn't have a runner in the Queen's Vase. Yes, disgrace.
You must have an outbreak in the stable.
Yes. I mean, well, anyway, coming on to the race, Eldar Eldarov did a favour for punters in getting up right on the line or close home. And it was painful for me because I felt it was like a winning bad ride because I thought he was too far back. And in the end, if you look, he was the only one mowing them down close home from coming off the pace. So I do think Eldar Eldarov is much the best. I don't deny that. But I thought it was a poor kind of winner in terms of, it can be uprated somewhat. Quentin, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think the horse got him out of trouble. He ended up, Zechariah got to jump on him, turn him for home, found a little bit of trouble. hopefully he had the horse under him. Not sure what the form is really, to be honest. You had Nahani, who looks kind of increasingly reluctant to go forward with hold-up tactics. Maybe gelding or the refitting the blinds or both will help him. Anchorage didn't handle the ground. Typewriter didn't handle the ground. Baltic Bird, Perfect Alibi. They're all going to be better with ease underfoot. The winner's obviously the one you want going forward, but what's it really beaten? The Zechariah came last of four in the Derby trial. It's obviously improved for the trip, but yeah, it's not form I'm bouncing about, to be honest.
No, the second did nearly pinch it, like you say, and that's it. So, John, what would you think to the Queen's Vase form wise?
Well, Nahini was sort of level with the winner when they started the runs. Easily got beat half length by.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. We'll move on. And then came the Prince of Wales, when it was more pay for fab backers, when Bay Bridge. Quentin, have you seen any sectionals on the Prince of Wales?
Slow, very, very slow. It's almost like the market knew what was coming. What was state arrest? 9s into 5s on the show. It knew it was going to get. Market knew it was getting a solo up top. I'm just trying to pull up some sectionals on it now, but I know they'll finish in fast. 109.38% finishing speed.
Jesus.
Yeah, so the ground, I still feel Baybridge, for all it wasn't well positioned, it was Furlong Poet had every chance, to be honest. Just didn't pick up. I think it found the ground a shade too fast. Less said about the Tory, the better. Kind of sums up my day. Played Lord North at 15-2, goes off 9-2, blindfold stuck on. So
yeah. John?
Desperate effort from the Tory, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was one of the worst you would see, you know. I mean, it was up there with Jordan Lambert at the car out.
Yeah, Jordan Lambert rode for me once. Silly Billy finishing 3rd at Carlisle. Yeah. Well, I mentioned that. Anyway, so going back to the Prince of Wales. I mean, the talking point, though, one of the major talking points today was that Prince Charles's big purple sausage fingers. I don't know if anyone's seen them before, but it was causing much discussion in the Shea Keys camp today. The producer also absolutely nearly throwing up at staring at Prince Charles's fingers. John, have you ever seen anything like those fingers?
Well, it depends, you know. I mean, I've visited a variety of butcher's shops over the years, and I can honestly say for girth, there's nothing come close to them apart from the quarter pounders at PJ Ford's in Glaisdale. There's absolutely packed with meat, sort of kind of bursting, which actually look a bit like Prince Charles's fingers, which also look packed with meat to the point of bursting. I don't know whether Camilla's a girth lady or not, but she'll be out of pleased. I worried sick, I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the itinerary or the sort of tools you'd like for finger blasting.
You struggle to get a kill on the piano out of him as well with the snake on it. You can maybe manage a bar or two of chopsticks, but that'd be a lot.
So Prince Charles's purple chipolatas, for those of you that haven't noticed. Okay, we'll kick on. Duke of Cambridge. I was very pleased mine didn't run in the end. Got very upset in the stalls. The French raider, Civil of Spain. Quentin, didn't you like Saffron Beach? I'm sure you did.
I didn't really have I ended up playing Saffron Beach. I think I mentioned to you yesterday, I wasn't keen on yours on the ground. Bashrakova, I wasn't really keen on the ground. I think Haggis said after the Derby meeting that the ground on Derby Day or Oaks Day, whenever she ran, was as fast as she'll want it. And they've ended up rocking up here on rock hard, borderline firm ground, which was surprising. She she ended up getting tapped for toe and finding things happening too quickly. What was Danny Tudhope doing? He was just sat there holding his cock in rear off of steady fractions, and then like he must have thought he was on Frankel. Like Buick's stolen the race, and they're still holding their cock when he's rowing away and disappearing into the distance. Like him and Kingscote, God knows what they're fucking playing at.
Absolutely, yeah. John noticed sort of around, I think it was like back 3 furlongs out, that Thunder Beauty was still swinging away. And I think it was a case. And do the sectionals, Quentin, have you had a chance to look at the sectionals for that? Do the sectionals bear out that Saffron Beach had a bit of an easy time tracking the German horse?
Yep, very soft time. 13.91 for the first 3 and a bit furlong. From start to the 6th furlong, first 2 furlongs, 6 furlongs to 2:12. Yeah, easy time. Who's finished fastest? Thunder Beauty's finished fastest of all. No surprise. Best horses won. Bashrakova will be better up in trip, but just it's a gift of a race. They've absolutely gifted her a Group 2.
Yeah, that was the feeling. Pity I'm not reading it so well in running. I should be backing half of these because I didn't back Stay to Rest. Didn't back Saffron Beach in running when it probably was a more straightforward play.
And we move on to the Royal Hunt Cup. Thoughts, chaps?
Absolutely awful.
I mean, it's like, yeah, I backed it. Fantastic Fox. Just absolutely never got going. For whatever reason, I don't know. It's too bad to be true. We've got a listener's question. Bless him. Absolute moaning galore from Carl Swanson. Jamie Spencer in the play, and they got Spence-cocked. I mean, anyone should watch that back. Now, we all know that Ascot's really good. Held up, dropped out, coming through fast and late. But early stages in that race, I couldn't believe the amount of ground that Spencer gave up for free, really. It's like free ground. Here we have some more free ground. And there's no wonder this horse... I don't know. I feel whoever owns horses with the greatest trainer in the UK today, 18% with held up horses, continues to suffer more pain when they don't come through and do the business. Did any of you two see the ride?
It was horrific, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As you said, cheap lamps. Nope.
Quentin?
Oh, I was saying, as you said, cheap lamps given up. Nothing really got into its stand, so I did it. The pace kind of was more centre to the far side. You had Sinjari finishing fast, and then bless him. But even if the pace didn't take you into it, don't put yourself in an even worse position by just giving away cheap lamps at the start. I ended up, I think I'd said, the Epsom podcast, Dark Shift was my idea of the winner of the Royal Hunt Cup, and the centre draw put me off. So the winner that hopefully someone backed out there, but I certainly wasn't on. I was on Fantastic Fox and Symbolise. So yeah, done me brains there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is about the Hunt Cup, it's a tremendously difficult race to win, and I looked at the stats for the draw over the years, and it said stalls 1 to 10 pretty much underperformed. But didn't we get a feeling today that the stand side was a little bit slower, or for some reason didn't seem a place to be today? The stand side. Do we think that?
Concur. Like apart from dramatised.
Yeah, it just seems it's like right under that rail or whatever. Nothing was coming through and doing the biz, but it is what it is. Okay, we'll move on to 5:35 race. I think one that got your go here, Quentin, like everybody else at the price. It was backed as if defeat was out of the question. Little Big Bear winning the Windsor Castle.
It was like before. If you're not betting it at 5 to 2, then you're laying it at 11 to 8. So I ended up stepped in and laid it at 11 to 8. then Gleeson popped up on ITV. All the professionals want to be on there. All the professionals charged up after 3 tickets and 6 races in. I think the worst thing was ended up back in the second as well at 20s win only. That hung its chance. That was a sucker punch. But yeah, brutal race for me. My mood wasn't pleasant to say the least. But I don't think it's a great Windsor Castle. It's never really a race that works out. Second looks smaller type that's very much all now. Winner's got a bit of scope to keep on right.
Yeah, the winner has at least got physical scope to keep doing the biz. But like you say, it's another soul destroying race for the people really that look at prices and think, well, this can't be that, and then everyone gets paid barring the idiots that lay it. The 6:10 finished with the ultimate kick in the nuts. This is probably one of the best ones for me all day. I discounted it after Beverley. I didn't think it was that off at Beverley. Rising Star, the winner. I put it out on the Bar Stewards pod as a max bet. To much ridicule from other Bar Stewards guests that evening, and then it's popped up today at 40s. I haven't had a shilling on. Feel an idiot because I went for the Godolphin juice in the race, thinking that Bin Soro had got the old Zaruni tackle ready for his two. So more depression in the last. Quentin, any joy in the last?
I didn't have a bet, so yes, lots of fucking joy. But if I was you, I'd be sick as a dog. I remember you putting it up. I'd be. When you started saying it, I was like, "Ooh, that's got to hurt." No bet in the last, so lots of joy. A bad day this end, bad day at Chateau France.
Bad day at the office. Brains in time. John, like you in the last, I think you were similar to me. You like the Godolphin juice. You thought Dubai Love was giving a shit ride.
Well, I did, because he took his time getting in. And then decided to make his round up on the apex of the bend wide. And I mean, even though I think he briefly showed maybe close to the front about 2 hours, he was never going to have enough left for the finish. Probably another one for the notebook. I mean, the notebook's as thick as a telephone book, and the wallet looks like a fucking Ethiopian at the minute.
Yes, it is. I mean, literally, it's been a terrible start. I've not worked harder on an Ascot meeting than this. I can't remember anyway. Like putting this much work into it, and I'm afraid I'm coming across that, and you have to fall on your sword at times. It's the way it is. So listeners have been on a few things. Richard Corbett's been on the Valuator on Twitter. He's a National Hunt and Point to Point fan. So, but he likes the flat also. Kudos to Jeff Banks, he says, who was laid above the machine on Little Big Bear in the Windsor Castle on course. I think if me and Quentin and John would have had Quentin Keys Franks racing, I think we'd have been doing the same. I think to be going off that sort of price, I think you it's like the old Gary Wiltshire scenario, isn't it? With the
the Charlie 6 one.
Yeah, the old Notori 7, where simply it was just the wrong price. And I know Little Big Bear's won, but it doesn't mean to say it was the right price. That's it. It is what it is.
Resulting bias, isn't it? People will go, well, you got it wrong, but at the end of the day, it's a sample size of one race. Like it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. And fair play to Jeff, to be honest. Had an opinion, he was wrong.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. Like more bookies should do it. Like, good on him.
Yeah, I think that's what we like to see. Like bookies having an opinion, taking the game on, and bringing it to get people back into the betting ring. Another statement here. Stan's been on. He said, switch to ATR from ITV Loveyfest. It's becoming home. It's like coming home to a kebab after a night out in a pretentious restaurant with a bunch of people full of their own importance. I'll tell you what, today, I honestly, it's the second day John's put me through it, and it's yeah, it's terrible, and it's absolutely dreadful. It's not designed. The format itself, if you watch it, it's not designed for any clued up punters. They don't show the pre-parade. They don't show the horses like walking round beforehand. In fact, one of the paddock, I don't even know who she is, Sally Ann or somebody other, Aunt Sally. They may as well have had personal coverage as well. Luke Harvey. The pre-parade, right? She actually said, for the Queen Mary, 2-year-old fillies. So, big occasion. They were too busy showing the Queen, telling everybody, what gin they should have and how everyone's having a fantastic time at the 4 furlong pole in the picnic area. But when it came to showing the horses, we got nothing of the pre-parade. And we had Aunt Sally coming on saying that 2 or 3 had sort of gone berserk at this helicopter flying over. Well, we've not seen it. This is it's a sport. We want to see the horses. We don't want to see people in top hats getting pissed at, what are you drinking? Elderflower gin. Fantastic. Thanks for that. It's absolutely pathetic. The coverage is awful. I have never watched so much drivel in my life. And anyone that supports the sport and loves horse racing, whoever's directing this coverage is steering it well away from betting and watching the horses. That's what counts, nothing else. We don't want to see Betty in a dress and a hat and saying, "Oh, that's a massive hat."
You're actually missing a trick here, like, because we were witness today to one of the most significant statements on racing that has ever been made by a participant in the sport.
Yes.
Group 1 Johnny, when asked how he get on if he was riding today with all the extra knowledge accumulated since he retired, told us he would be 10 lengths better. So all his place rides in classics would have won. His winners, Calanese would have won the Breeders' Cup by 11 lengths.
Yeah.
11 lengths.
Yeah. These are grade 1 jockey stats. Like when you play grade 1 jockey on PlayStation. And this is Group 1 Johnny that says he'd be 10 lengths better if he knew what he knew now after riding back then. If he came back now, like John says, he said to Ruby Walsh, I'd be 10 lengths better. 10 lengths better.
And really, if that's the standard of punditry, they should probably drag Group 1 Johnny out into the car park and put the dogs on.
Feed into the house. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Okay, I tell you what, we've done today is pretty well. It's been a fuck fest for us, but that's the beauty. We don't hide behind false results and false modesty. It's all about telling it how it is. If you're doing your bollocks, we'll say it.
If I hadn't abused myself for years, I'd be selling a kidney.
Right. So we'll look at just anything tomorrow for punters, chaps. Quentin, I'm going to come to you first. Anything that sort of stands out for punters tomorrow, if they've had a bad day today, you think this is the one?
Yeah, if they've had a bad day today. But I've got Hoop at 50 in you. I put that up, I think, yesterday. Still sweet on that, despite the high draw. That's where the right horses are. I still think my 3-pointer's overpriced in the Ribbersdale, about 7-1. Hopefully the knackered Fridges is happy after that race.
Brilliant.
And if I had the Bismarck horse tomorrow, it would be Claymore 2 places. I don't think it wants really fast ground at all. Doesn't move like a fast ground horse. Haven't worked out what's going to come second to the Queen. If you had to price up the Queen going tomorrow, how would you price it?
Going as in going racing, or going.
Go.
What one's even money, the other's probably 14 to 1.
I think. I mean, everyone said, haven't they, tomorrow about the disgrace that is the Hampton Court, and they've all, as if they've all, like you say, Claymore, Quentin, that doesn't want the ground as it is. That's a good point, really. It doesn't. It definitely doesn't want it this quick, and it looks like an absolute red carpet roll for Reach to the Moon and the Queen to have at least one winner. I think the Queen's got some chances, other chances as well tomorrow that, outside chances anyway. I would say my best bets, and Quentin might disagree here because Quentin, you like Who Put 50 in You, don't you, in the Britannia?
Yes, you like Saga.
Yeah. To be fair, do you agree that it's like similar reasons in that Who Put 50 in You looked well ahead of its mark when it managed to make up stupid amounts of ground on Mile Ulysses. Mm-hmm. I agree. Probably £10 isn't enough for that. But it's a similar sort of reason, I suppose, when you look at Saga, in terms of, he was second to the, to
Mount June.
Yeah, which he beat Koi, like I pointed out on the show, second to Caribus. It's similar sort of. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, because obviously the Gosdanos, they might think it's turned into a bit of a cunt because they put the blinkers on first time, and it's obviously the Queen's family, that's they usually end up that way. Yeah, so yours is probably more reliable, I suppose. But yeah, I'd probably go with. I'm happy with Saga still. At the prices, definitely think that's the one to be on. John, what's your highlight tomorrow for punters?
My highlight tomorrow, I think I need to regroup. I'll probably put 50 in the slot and have a Hamshank low swimming.
And this comes, of course, after one of our splendid listeners said to John, said they're worried about John because he's going from liking different people, and he's ended up going to a 60-year-old and an 82-year-old. We've had plenty of comments on that. Yeah, yes. John said he'd do the double.
I'm very fickle.
So there we go. So we're in action tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have some better news that we've got some better stuff. We want to be happy. We want to be backing winners. If you back some winners today, very well done. Enjoy it. And if you haven't, get in the bin with us. That's all from us. Bye for now.